investigation, what I had going for me was my knowledge of Roxbury. And that Chico thing was the #1 incident that I had. The second thing, engineering sent his squad out looking for, we had plate numbers and makes of cars that we were looking for, that were used by these guys. And we knew about the Bennett brothers in Roxbury, where they were located. So engineering asked his men to spread out and look for these cars. So I said to the lieutenant, I remember like it was yesterday, I said, Lieutenant, let me loose in Roxbury. I know every little alley, because I used to live right off of Dudley. And all my relatives lived down there. So I can remember, I had the list of cars. We were looking for a black and brown Oldsmobile that was owned by Barboza. And another car, I forget, I had the plate numbers. I took my cruiser and I got off on Dudley Street at Vine and Dudley. On the left was a garage for a funeral, what's the name of that funeral parlor? Good something. It was a big garage and the funeral parlor was across the street. And I used to play on the roof when I was a kid. And we used to go in there and play with anyway, walked in the garage. As soon as I walk in the corner, Joe Barbosa's car. I said, whoa. And I kind of said, wow, I hit the jackpot where the lieutenant is. I walk out the door. And there's a guy dressed up. And he says, what do you got, kid? I said, who are you? He says, I'm from intelligence, Boston Police. I said, oh, what do you want? Now, I'm shy, because he's a big lieutenant, a detective. I said, geez, I just come up with some good information. He says, what do you got? And I told him, do me a favor. Don't turn that number in. He said, we're working on it, we're watching the car. So I did. I didn't tell the lieutenant. And I'm leaving, I'm going, what was his name? I said, what's your name? He said, Bill Stewart. So I didn't say anything. I went back, the lieutenant said, nothing, Lieutenant. Time went by, and the lieutenant called me in the office. He said, what happened on Dudley Street? I said, what happened, Lieutenant? He says, did you meet a detective there? I said, yeah. He said, well, why? And he got mad at me. Why did you tell me? I said, Lieutenant, he's from intelligence. What the hell's intelligence? I don't even know. I don't even know what intelligence is. I had no idea. I'm only in a job now 4 or 5 years. I have no idea. So anyway, I find the car and I give it to the intelligence guy and don't say anything and go back into the office. All the men are sitting in the office and, what is going on here? We knew that the FBI would never come into our office. The elevator door would open and right in front of us, right in front of the elevator, it would say Homicide, D.A.'s office. And we knew the FBI guys, they'd walk, H. Paul Rico. The door would open up, say, hey guys, how you doing guys? They get out of the elevator and go make a big circle and go into domestic affairs, John Doyle. As a patrolman, in that era, you want to keep your mouth shut. I'm only a patrolman. I have no idea what's going on there. You just don't go up to lieutenant and interfere with something like that. John Doyle, yeah, absolutely, I'll salute him. None of my business what he's doing there. I'm not, maybe today things would be different. But in my day, to talk to a captain, a lieutenant, you had to go through the chain of command. You just couldn't walk up. So my idea with my fellow officers, we had our own opinions. We knew there was something going wrong. We would talk behind Doyle's back. But then again, there were other bosses we didn't like either. Maybe this is their way of doing something. But they're going to get the mafia, which is good.
But you didn't know that at the time.
No, we had no idea.
So what did you think? What did you think at the time that you saw that? What was in your mind, and what did engineering think, and the rest of Homicide?
Engineering went to his grave despising John Doyle.